People say their brain is rotting. They cannot focus. They cannot read. They open one short video and lose an hour. The internet blames dopamine as if dopamine is a poison. But before blaming a brain chemical, ask a better question. What is the phone training your brain to expect? Ask the simple question. If dopamine is so bad, why does your brain use it every day? The answer is that dopamine is not an enemy. It is a messenger. It helps the brain learn what matters, what to repeat, what to seek, and where attention should go next. Dopamine is often called the pleasure chemical, but that phrase is too small. Dopamine is involved in motivation, movement, attention, learning, memory, mood, and reward. It does not simply say, "This feels good." It also says, "Pay attention. Remember this. Do it again." Think of dopamine as part of the brain's repeat button. When something feels rewarding or important, the brain learns from it. Food, social connection, achievement, novelty, and entertainment can all teach the brain. The problem begins when a lesson is repeated thousands of times in tiny fragments. A short-form feed works like a slot machine for attention. You swipe. Maybe the next video is boring. Maybe it is funny. Maybe it is shocking. Maybe it is exactly what you wanted. The uncertainty keeps the brain checking. The reward is not constant, but it is unpredictable. The brain pays attention to variable rewards. When the next swipe might contain something exciting, curiosity becomes hard to stop. This is why a feed can feel more magnetic than a planned task. The brain keeps asking, what if the next one is better? Novelty is powerful. New face, new joke, new fear, new fact, new argument, new body transformation, new health hack. Each fragment is small, but the pace is fast. Your brain was not built to receive 1,000 novelty signals while lying in bed at midnight. Attention is not unlimited. Every notification, swipe, alert, and video asks for a slice of it. When attention is repeatedly sliced into tiny pieces, deep work begins to feel strange. A book feels slow. A lecture feels long. Silence feels uncomfortable. Food has fullness signals. Attention also needs a kind of fullness. A meaningful task can end with completion. A conversation can end with connection. A book chapter can end with understanding. But an infinite feed has no natural ending. It keeps asking for one more bite. Brain rot is not a medical diagnosis. Your brain is not literally melting because you watch videos. But the phrase captures something real. People feel foggy, overstimulated, distracted, and mentally unsatisfied after too much low-quality content. The better word is training. The brain learns from repetition. If you repeat scrolling every time you feel bored, tired, stressed, or lonely, the brain begins to pair those states with the phone. The habit becomes automatic. The phone becomes the exit door from discomfort. Boredom feels uncomfortable because the brain wants stimulation. But boredom can also be useful. It gives the mind space to wander, connect ideas, reflect, plan, and create. If every empty second is filled by a feed, the brain loses its practice with stillness. You cannot detox dopamine like a toxin. You need dopamine to move, learn, care, focus, and pursue goals. The goal is not to remove dopamine. The goal is to stop training the reward system only on instant, effortless stimulation. A useful reset is not anti-dopamine. It is reward retraining. Give the brain slower rewards again. Walking, reading, building something, exercising, cooking, talking with someone, learning, sleeping. These rewards do not always explode instantly, but they build a deeper signal. Fast rewards arrive quickly and disappear quickly. Slow rewards take effort, but leave something behind. A workout, a skill, a project, a friendship, a long idea. The brain needs both pleasure and meaning. The feed gives pleasure fragments without much structure. Your prefrontal cortex helps with planning, inhibition, attention, and decision-making. It is a part of the brain that says, this is what I intended to do, but it can be tired, stressed, sleep-deprived, or overwhelmed by constant cues. Do not rely only on willpower. The phone is engineered to pull attention. Notifications, autoplay, infinite scroll, bright icons like streaks and algorithmic recommendations are designed to reduce friction. You need environmental design, not only discipline. Notifications are attention invoices. Everybody says, "Pay me now." Even when you do not open the phone, part of the brain may wonder what happened. Silence is not empty. Silence is protection for attention. Your feed learns from your behavior. Pause on fear, and it may send more fear. Watch outrage, and it may send more outrage. Replay a body comparison video, and it may send more comparison. The feed is not neutral. It is feedback. Content that makes you angry, afraid, jealous, or shocked can be highly sticky. The brain treats emotion as important. This is why doomscrolling can feel awful and still be hard to stop. The content hurts your mood but rewards your attention system. The late-night phone is especially dangerous for the rhythm. It brings light, novelty, emotion, and endless choice into the bedroom. Sleep does not like surprise. The brain is supposed to land. The feed keeps taking off. What you do in the first minutes of the morning matters. If the first signal is a storm of messages, news, arguments, and videos, the brain begins the day reacting. You did not choose the first thought. The feed chose it for you. After a long scrolling session, slower tasks can feel harder. Reading feels too quiet. Studying feels too slow. Work feels too demanding. This is not proof that you are broken. It is proof that the brain has been warmed up for rapid switching, not sustained focus. Most multitasking is task switching. The brain jumps from one context to another and pays a cost each time. A phone beside your work can become a mental leak. The work remains visible, but attention keeps draining away. The phone is not evil. It is also a map, camera, notebook, classroom, emergency tool, and connection device. The goal is not to hate technology. The goal is to stop letting the most addictive parts of technology control the most valuable parts of your attention. Screen time alone does not tell the full story. Learning a skill online is not the same as doom scrolling until 2 a.m. A video call with family is not the same as rage content. Ask what the screen is doing to your mind, not only how long it was on. If you remove a habit without replacing it, the brain returns to the old path. Replace scrolling with something specific. Walk. Read 10 pages. Stretch. Clean one small area. Call someone. Write for 5 minutes. The replacement must be easy enough to start. Add friction to the trap. Turn off non-essential notifications. Move addictive apps off the home screen. Charge the phone outside the bed area. Use grayscale if it helps. Put the phone in another room during deep work. Make the unwanted habit slightly harder. Protect the first 30 minutes of the day. Get light. Drink water. Move a little. Write the first task. Let your brain form its own direction before the internet hands you one. The morning should begin with intention, not reaction. Protect the last 30 minutes before sleep. No outrage. No endless videos. No work messages unless truly necessary. Let the brain slow down. Sleep is not only about time in bed. It is about the state you bring into bed. Create one screen-free block each day. It does not need to be heroic. 20 minutes. A walk. A meal. A work session. A conversation. The purpose is to remind the brain that life can happen without constant input. Deep focus is trainable. At first, 10 minutes may feel difficult, then 15, then 25. The brain adapts to what you practice. If you practice constant switching, you get better at switching. If you practice focus, you rebuild focus. Movement gives the brain a different reward. Sunlight, breathing, rhythm, blood flow, scenery, and physical action all change the state. A walk is not just exercise. It is a way to move attention out of the feed and back into the body. Social media imitates connection, but it does not always replace connection. A like is not the same as being understood. A comment is not the same as a conversation. The brain needs real social reward, not only social signals. Try a 7-day experiment. No phone for the first 30 minutes. No phone for the last 30 minutes. Turn off non-essential notifications. Take one daily walk without headphones. Read 10 pages. Create one screen-free meal. Do not call it a detox. Call it attention training. If phone use feels compulsive, damages sleep, work, study, relationships, mood, or safety, take it seriously. This is not about shame. Habits can become strong. Support may help. A therapist, doctor, family plan, or digital well-being tool may be appropriate. Warning signs include losing sleep repeatedly, ignoring important duties, using the phone while driving, feeling unable to stop, withdrawing from real relationships, or using content to escape distress every day. Do not treat these as personality flaws. Treat them as signals. Here is a Feynman test. Can you explain dopamine and scrolling in one sentence? Try this. Dopamine helps the brain learn what to repeat, and infinite feeds can train that system on fast, unpredictable rewards until slower life feels boring. Train attention back. Reduce cues. Add friction. Build slow rewards. Protect sleep. Move daily. Use screens on purpose. Let boredom return. The goal is not to punish the brain. The goal is to teach it that not every reward must arrive in 3 seconds. Dopamine is not your enemy. Your phone is not automatically your enemy either. But an infinite feed can train your brain to chase tiny rewards all day. Stop blaming the molecule. Redesign the environment. Rebuild attention. Your brain was not built for infinite scrolling. It was built to notice, learn, connect, and create.